Hey friends, what's happening? What's shaking? What's going on? This is Andy coming to you again from here at Andy's World of Bass. Today I'm going to do a bass lesson for you. This is kind of something that has been requested because I recently posted a video of a gig that I did recently, and I posted a video of the bass solo that I did on a kind of on a funk jam type of tune in the spirit of James Brown. And a lot of people ask me about how I kind of if I could analyze that solo, or share with them how I go about doing that. So I pretty much do the same type of stuff all the time, and I have been for many years. And I'll share that with you right now. It all kind of stems around a 16th note feel, a bubbling 16th note feel with lots of ghost notes. So the ghost note is a muted note that comes before the pitch. So that's the idea of ghost noting. So if I played no ghost notes at all, it would be like. See what I'm saying? Now, when I put in that rhythmic stroke, which is just a. That creates kind of the general feel of everything that I'm doing throughout the solo. Okay, but I don't do it all the time. Sometimes I'm playing straight with no ghost notes. So it's a matter of just kind of in the moment going between ghosted phrases and non-ghosted phrases. And then there's a lot of that little short glissando stuff. So I'm either coming from a half step above, or coming under from a half step below, or a half step above. So those little glisses are kind of sprinkled in there, just wherever. And that's the idea, that's the vocabulary, is to be able to do, to put those kind of things in just, in the moment, and they're not really, none of this is really planned. There's a main theme, which is kind of like a traditional James Brown type bass line. And then I break away from it and come back to it, and break away from it and come back to it. So that creates the theme. And then I start just breaking away from it and doing licks. And what's a typical maneuver for me, now this is all in the key of D. A lot of funk songs are in the key of D or a certain key, and then you stay on the 1 chord forever. And then eventually you go to the 4 chord. When you finally get to the 4 chord, it's this great release. So in that particular solo on that video, we were in the key of D. Now in that whole concept there, all I'm really doing is going. That's kind of comes from country blues and gospel, and just chromatically going from the 8 to the 3, chromatically up to the 5 to the 6, chromatically through the 7, dominant 7, major 7, and back up to the 8. then I put on the ghost notes. And then I throw in some sort of Jocko-esque type of stuff where I'm kind of doubling back. Which also kind of comes from gospel walking. But then you put the ghost notes and make it funky. So I'm sprinkling in a straight 16th note feel and a broken funky feel. I'll move up in register as I'm building it, and all this transpires over, like, you know, not even a minute long solo. The idea is to get in and get out, and you know, don't stay too long. You know what I'm saying? I always say, you get in, you get out, nobody gets hurt. Don't try and go too long, because when it's at a fast tempo, there's a possibility you could fatigue out, and then it would stall and lose all of its momentum and lose all of its punch and all of its power, all of its wow factor would go away if you stall out and if you can't toe the line, if you can't keep the tempo going. I'll throw in some greasy stuff. That one I do all the time. All that is the it's a minor third to the 1. And then in terms of the actual pitch choices, the 3 kind of scales that I'm working out of would be the minor pentatonic, the blues scale with the flat 5, a couple chromatic notes thrown in there. Some people call those blue notes. Instantly makes it sound soulful and bluesy. Eventually, at some point, I'll climb up into a higher register. Now I'm still in D, but I'm up an octave. I'll start incorporating a whole bunch of repetition on a kind of some flurry phrasing. And I'm slightly altering it as I go, as I'm developing it, but it's the same pitches. Maybe I'll add one more pitch. And I'll start putting in some triplets. I'll be building the subdivision to make it sound like it's going faster and faster and faster. Almost always I'll use the lick, which is kind of a George Porter New Orleans thing. In fact, it is a George Porter thing. That's where I got it. You know, it's a decidedly major sound. I'll incorporate that. And then somewhere along the line, when it's time to get out, I'll start a long kind of building pattern. And I'll chromatically work my way all the way up the neck. You know, something like that. when I'm 4 beats away from finishing, I'll cue the band, I'll cue the drummer, and cue the guitar player, and we hit the 4 chord together, and we're on the bridge. You know, we signal that the bridge is coming. So that's kind of how I do it. You know, I'm doing all that. And then back on the 1 and back in. Get in, get out, nobody gets hurt. So I know that I was moving right along, but if you know those 3 basic scale shapes and the pentatonic box type stuff, major pentatonic, switching between major and minor pentatonic, and then the blues scale. And lots of that chromatic. That's all I really do. And then that big, you know, crescendo at the end. Make sure you cue the band. That creates the big finale, and then you get out. I've had a lot of success doing that for a long, long time. And it makes for a tight, clean, concise groove solo that really features the bass in a cool way, and enables me to shine a little bit, you know. And because it's short and sweet, I don't run the risk of blowing it. Because, you know, that's the thing, you know, if you're doing a great solo and then all of a sudden you fatigue out, it's like, you know, getting your pants pulled down on national TV. You're better off playing within, keeping it short and sweet, and just playing the stuff that you're really confident with. And then, you know, landing all your moves so that from the very beginning to the very end, landing every single move so that you don't stall and stumble. And you know, for sure, the absolutely most important thing is to keep the motor running. You know, you got to keep the motor running with the right hand. And what I do is, if I start to feel an inkling of fatigue, or that I'm gonna, you know, I start to know when my right hand might need a little breather, so to speak. I just slow down and I just start playing like straight eighths instead of staccato sixteenths, and or even quarter notes, or even just a, you know, I'll put in like a couple of chords, and that creates a nice pause in the action that's musical, that's not a stall, but it's an actual breath. You know, it's an actual, it's a point where I leave space on purpose. You see what I'm saying? Or and you know, the other thing I didn't mention is that I'll do some bends and hold some notes. You know, that's going to be one of the crucial things to keep it sounding musical, is that it's an implied motor. The motor is running, it's implied now. You got to do some bends and stuff like that, because all that stuff is really expressive and really lyrical. So there you have it. There's, in a nutshell, there's how I go about doing a funky one chord groove solo, how I construct it, and a lot of the moves that I'll use, you know, regularly. I might use some double stop stuff. Maybe a little chord sequence. Or I might even do something like, you know, and all that is just understanding the diatonic key, where it's D major, F sharp, minor, B minor, the 4 chord, which is major. I might do a sharp 4 diminished, and then E minor, A dominant 7, D. One, 3, 6, 4, sharp 4, 2, minor 2, 5. Alright friends, there you have it. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching all the videos. And, you know, have fun making it funky. You know, keep that motor running and, you know, get in, get out, nobody gets hurt. Alright, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.